The 69, that's a Pro-Am entry, so you need to know who you're side-by-side with. Don't get mixed up in somebody else's business. You ready? Here we go. The green flag waves on the 2025 season, and they are off. 36 Lamborghinis down to turn one, and you're going to have to make it single file as you exit this corner, but I don't think they're paying attention to that.
No, still good cooperation through the field, able to keep it clean at least so far. Pole-sitting car still out in front. That car has been quickest in every session up to this point. Both practices, pole position for both races as well after sweeping qualifying earlier today.
Nick Persing aboard the number 8. Started in the 3rd position, dropping back a little bit. Already you've got these side-by-side battles. But again, you can look at those colors on those cars and see a lot of these cars pushing hard right now are in different classes. But Ryan, I think you want to take advantage of that if about in Pro-Am. And let's take a look. Going through turn 1. Oh, great job.
Cederman, that is, what would that be?
Was that tower
13?
turn? Was that 13?
Yeah, I think it was. So not in a great spot at the moment. We'll see what race control elects to do. Side by side, different classes.
Oh, good stuff down into 7, and the 81 goes straight. He says, I'm in the ABS. I'm not sure I want to turn. Montero going, there's somebody there. Let's not make the matter worse than it is. Losing a position or two is a lot better than losing a car, and he just kind of stays on the brake and stays straight. Trying to see who blinked first. Oh, this is a completely different outcome. Exact same corner, Ryan. Big time damage to the 37, and this is going to bring out a full course caution. That car will not be able to move.
That is a big, big hit, unfortunately. Adrian Kunzel, I believe, one of the 2 cars involved. Let's take a look at this here, Brian.
Oh, it looks like, is that the 42? Yeah,
yep.
That gets in there. I think
waiting for the leader to go, and looks like go he does. Formal is on it. Conright's been there keeping him honest, but the fight might be on for 3rd and 4th, Brian.
Man, what a jump Danny Formal got, but I think you're right. 3rd and 4th in the order. That may be where the fight is, but again, you need to think about where you are and who you're racing with. What class are they in? This is an opportunity, though, to use that other class traffic put between yourself and your nearest competitor. Can you do it here on a restart? Pit stops are coming up.
Great getaway by Formal. Good call there as well. That 3rd and 4th overall fight, those are cars in different classes. Jason Hart with it.
So used to seeing Jason Hart, though, in something yellow, white, and black. I get confused. And look at this blocking going on. This is aggressive blocking. It'll be interesting to see what race control has to say about that. Good battle here, and I believe that's Bamber aboard the 29. It is, and the 8 outside of Nick Persing. Bamber really using all the road there to the right. The question was it a move in response to Persing trying to go around him, or did he take that line early off the corner?
Now the race director and the stewards will take a look at that for sure, but as mentioned, pit lane is open. Meanwhile, 3 wide into 1.
Look at this. Look at this, and a little twitch for Berkeley there. 2nd car in the shot, that bright blue machine, and that is going to invite the 4th car in the order into this fray. It's the 30 of Hayes back there, the 4th car in the line. He was several car lengths back, and then that side-by-side action into 1 allowed him to close right up.
Oh, man, that was outstanding. Great job to give each other just enough space to make it work in turn 1. It's so wide on entry, but narrows on exit. This is what we're looking at, just outside the top 5 in the overall order, running nose to tail here, and it is a maelstrom in, and we're going to have to see how they fare with some fast cars behind them or cars in the Pro-Am class on a different strategy, maybe coming up through the field. Big move here into turn 7. That was Hayes.
That was
fantastic.
Nice. That was nice, Ryan. Yeah. World when you came down there, because it basically was. It was the racetrack, and then it wasn't. And when it wasn't, it was a wall. Now Kleck looks to the inside. He's got the inside. Can he hold it? And can he get a good enough run off the corner to get the position at turn 1? The 44 Foster on the inside. They are side by side, wheel to wheel, Hankook to Hankook, down to turn 1.
And trouble is, the track goes away from him there. He was stuck on the outside. Tried to get the crossover to go, but pretty well.
I've seen over these last several laps after the restart. And the great pass that we saw down in turn 10, more of it coming here. Lap traffic now in the way. Kleck uses it to his advantage.
Yeah, that was well read for sure.
And snaking over towards Tower. Lurking in the background there. Hayes sizes up Berkeley, and that is a power move right there. What a move. It is difficult to get done there. The braking, Trofeo Evo 2, the Lamborghini Palm Beach logos on that car as well, brings it to a stop, and he'll hand it over now. Maiden run in North America for this young man, Hampus Eriksson. What do you think is going through his mind? Not only is he about to get in for the first time.
Last year, he split the results with Igor Arutchev, and the tiebreaker was fastest lap across the 2 races in the World Final. So effectively, he lost the World Final by a fraction of a second, the way that the tiebreaker broke down a season ago. But focusing here now on his career.
If you started a lap the last time by, it could be a problem. You got to get in. You've got to get that pit stop done within the window. The 1 is down and away, and you talk about the different total time on pit lane. 93 seconds for 2-driver format, 96 seconds for a 1-driver format. And that is...
But you must be in the pit lane prior to the pit window closing, and then it is that 93 or 96 seconds transit time with the stop and driver change as well that gets factored in. We'll see who executes on this. Looks like everybody has shown as having made a pit stop. Luke Berkeley was the last to do so, just snuck in the nick of time, but looks like everybody should be doing what they need to do as far as the regulations are concerned now the pit window officially closed.
Well, and there'll be some penalties handed out at the end of the race. We talked about some of those already. Car 42 will have a penalty for incident responsibility. We saw that down in turn 7 with the 37 and the 99, and car 67 will have a penalty for a pit speed violation. +4 over. That'll be a drive-through penalty. Talk about the length of the pit stop.
Car that Danny Formal started. Hampus Eriksson now driving.
Oh, whoa. It's just every time you see that, it's just a good run that they had going on. But yeah, I never did it. I went through it when I worked for Skip Barber back in the day, but I never raced the 12 hours, so never ran the full course.
Well, that comes as a surprise to me. That was the outlap, by the way, for Hoffman, who they produce. They do make some downforce, but there's still a handful to drive. I think that's part of the appeal, quite frankly, of the championship. This is a fantastic beast of a race car. But to just jump back in if you've been on the sideline for a while, that's a real... That was an issue we caught the tail end of there. Sebastian Carranzo appeared to have a moment. I think we've got to look at it here. Sends it up the inside and spun himself out to avoid contact, it would appear.
I think he realized that that was an ill-advised move about halfway in.
It's Jim Hepworth for the Rafa Racing team. Shares that car with former Indy Next driver Lindsey Brewer. Jim Hepworth, a veteran of the GT4 European Series in recent seasons, a former Brit Car Endurance Series champion as well. Driving a Praga, which must have been an experience. Really strong driver. I'm excited to see what that pairing can do.
He's down to the inside, headed into 17 that time, kind of blocking off the inside, saying, hey, don't think about it. But really what that does is just slows your entry and allows the other car to beginning to go away from you, and a problem for the 68.
Yeah, that was a front runner, actually. 8th overall, 7th in pro. That's...
Understand he and Kiwan Tendon were having a battle, and he looks to the inside. Tendon goes wide. Yeah, Tendon went wide, and I don't think he knew.
Could have been more disastrous, to say the least. Able to continue on. That's the important thing as we enter the final lap here. Hampus Eriksson has built that lead, Brian, to 9.7 seconds, but behind him, battles aplenty in this 36-car field.
Yeah, and think about what you just said as far as the 36-car field.
Tremendous debut for the Swedish driver and his Costa Rican teammate. They're just one corner away now.
Danny from all back-to-back championships with Kyle Marcelli 22 and 23, and Wayne Taylor Racing. This time he hands the victory. He hands the keys to the checkered flag to his teammate. Hampus Eriksson takes the checkered flag. Wayne Taylor Racing and his
alongside Anthony McIntosh. The Wayne Taylor Racing team will also take the Pro-Am victory here at Sebring International Raceway.
great stuff, and you look